Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something pretty profound.
We usually treat the present moment like a grain of sand falling through an hourglass.
Right, just slipping away.
Exactly. It's this tiny, slippery sliver of time that's just squeezed between everything that has already happened and, well, everything that's about to happen.
Yeah.
You blink, and it's gone. It's just buried at the bottom of the glass.
Yeah, we really do see it as just this passive thing.
We do.
Yeah.
But what if we've been looking at the present moment completely upside down this whole time? What if the present isn't just a measurement of time passing by, but an actual tangible force?
Oh, absolutely.
Like a force that we can literally learn to wield.
It completely changes the paradigm, of how we go about our day, because when you stop seeing time as a conveyor belt that you're just passively riding on,
Right.
and start seeing it as raw material, like an energy source just waiting to be activated, the implications for how much agency we actually have over our lives are just, they're staggering.
And that profound shift in perspective is the exact mission of today's deep dive. We are exploring the uplifting and frankly kind of mind-bending work of artist-philosopher Dr. Kim S. MacKenzie.
Mind-bending is definitely the right word for it.
It really is. Our source material today is a singular, captivating piece. It's an artwork and an accompanying poem, and they're titled Custodians of the Here and Now.
Such a powerful title.
So our goal for you listening today is to use this piece to understand how it frames human beings not as passive observers of time, but as active creators. Creators who are literally shaping the universe through their intent.
Yeah, and what makes MacKenzie's work so uniquely resonant is that she doesn't just, write about these vast philosophical concepts. She paints them.
She gives them an actual physical form.
Exactly. She gives them color, dimension, shape. It sets this immediate tone of awe and wonder before you even read a single word of the poetry.
So for you listening, we really need to set the visual stage here because the poetry and the visual art are just completely intertwined.
You really can't separate them.
No, you can't. So imagine looking at an image featuring these incredibly vibrant soaring peaks.
Almost like cosmic mountains.
Yeah, exactly. Cosmic mountains or even majestic tents. And we're talking bold, saturated colors here.
Yeah.
Deep reds, bright oranges, vivid yellows. And they are reaching upward with this incredible momentum.
And at the very tip of each of those vibrant peaks is a brilliant radiating star. It's almost like a cross of pure light.
It really drug your eye right up.
It does. And these peaks are pointing up into a deep, deep blue starry cosmos. It feels vast, just endless. And then taking up the upper right corner of the canvas, there is this massive red sun.
Or some kind of immense celestial body, yeah.
Right. But it's not just sitting there passively. It is radiating this vast, complex, web-like pattern across the entire dark blue sky.
It is stunning. It feels like you are getting a glimpse into the inner mechanics of the cosmos itself.
It really does.
So to understand what those glowing, surging peaks in the artwork actually represent, we have to look at how MacKenzie redefines the very nature of being alive right now. She writes, "Life is a gift in learning how to grasp and tame the here and now. A living point of active means, a force of light that fulfills dreams."
That phrase, grasp and tame the here and now, is just so vital to everything we're talking about today.
Grasp and tame.
Yeah. She is shifting the paradigm entirely away from the idea of time as a burden or time as a dwindling resource we are constantly running out of. She's reframing life as a gift. And she defines the here and now as a living point of active means and a force of light. It's not an empty container waiting to be filled by random events. The present moment itself is the active energy.
Right, so instead of thinking the present moment as a passive grain of sand falling in an hourglass, I feel like this poem is asking us to view it more like a magnifying glass.
Oh, I like that, a magnifying glass.
Yeah, like think about being a kid on a sunny day. The ambient sunlight is always there,
Yeah.
right? It's just shining down. That's just existence. But when you hold a magnifying glass steady in the sun, in the exact here and now, it gathers all that scattered ambient light and focuses it into a single, intensely powerful beam.
And it gets hot.
Really hot. If you hold it still enough, that beam can literally spark a fire. By focusing on the present moment, it becomes exactly what the poem says. It becomes a force of light that fulfills dreams.
That is spot on. And taking that magnifying glass idea a step further, think about what happens if your hand is shaking.
Oh yeah. The light would just jump around.
Exactly. If your mind is wandering to an argument you had yesterday, or, I don't know, you're vibrating with anxiety about a meeting you have tomorrow, you lose the focal point.
The beam widens and loses its heat.
Right. The light scatters and you just have a warm piece of glass. You don't get the fire. Holding that focus requires intense stillness and intention. It is an active means.
It takes actual work to hold it steady.
It really does. And visually, if we go back to the painting, those red, orange, and yellow peaks reaching upward, the ones topped with those brilliant radiating stars, they are the perfect representation of this.
Because they're reaching up into the dark.
Yeah. They aren't static mountains. They are surging upward, literally forces of light piercing the dark blue sky of the cosmos because they have been focused and tamed.
But, wielding that kind of focus, holding that magnifying glass perfectly still, that requires a massive reservoir of internal energy.
It's exhausting if you don't know how to fuel it.
Right. So where does that energy actually come from? Because if the present moment is this incredibly powerful, dream-fulfilling laser beam, it stands to reason we need some sort of fuel source to keep it burning.
We do. And MacKenzie addresses this directly. She argues that the key to harnessing time resides in what she calls the vaults of higher mind.
Vault of higher mind, okay.
Yeah, she writes, where past and future forces earned compound and currency reserves. To tap this light commodity requires soul maturity.
What's fascinating here is how she bridges the ethereal with the structural.
Yes.
She is telling us that the ability to harness time isn't just about trying really hard to pay attention in the present.
It's not just sheer willpower.
No, the fuel actually comes from the integration of your past and your future.
Exactly. But I think she is using the language of economics metaphorically here to describe the accumulation of spiritual and experiential wealth. The past and future forces earned are your lived experiences. They are the hard-won lessons from your past failures and triumphs, combined with your genuine, focused hopes and visions for the future.
It's an energetic savings account.
Exactly.
And when she says they compound, she means all those past lessons and future visions stack on top of each other.
Like compound interest.
Right. They interact and they multiply, giving your present moment its incredible weight and power.
Your present moment isn't isolated. It is backed by the compounded interest of everything you've learned and everything you aspire to.
That is so cool.
The deeper your past reflections and the higher your future aspirations, the richer your current moment becomes. But, you can't just access that massive reserve of power automatically.
There's a catch.
There's a catch. The poem introduces a prerequisite to tap into this light commodity, and that is soul maturity. Soul maturity is like a continuous and often difficult evolution of perspective. It's a fundamental shift in how you view your own existence. And the poem explicitly defines what this shift entails. It says, soul maturity is understanding that our present time is but a stitch in grand sublime.
A stitch in grand sublime. That really implies stepping way, way back from your own reflection in the mirror, doesn't it?
It is the ultimate shift away from the ego.
Yeah.
Immaturity, at least in a spiritual or philosophical sense, is operating under the delusion that you are the entire tapestry.
That everything revolves around you.
Exactly. It manifests as purely short-term thinking. It's getting entirely wrapped up in immediate drama, personal anxieties, the desperate need for validation, or seeing every minor setback as some sort of cosmic injustice targeted at you. But soul maturity is stepping back and realizing, I am one stitch.
I am one stitch. It sounds incredibly humbling, almost like you're insignificant at first glance.
It can feel that way, yeah?
But I can actually see how it's profoundly empowering. Because a tapestry cannot exist without the stitches.
Not at all. It would fall apart.
Right. You have a vital role, but you have to understand your place within the grand design to execute that role properly. When you realize you are just one stitch, you stop wasting energy trying to control the entire fabric of reality.
Which is impossible anyway.
Exactly. And you redirect all that compounded energy into making your specific stitch as strong and brilliant as possible.
Consider how that applies to daily life for a second. When you achieve that level of soul maturity, your past traumas or mistakes, they no longer paralyze you.
They become fuel.
Yes, they become the compounded experiential currency that informs how you make your next stitch. Your future anxieties dissolve because you aren't trying to weave the whole tapestry yourself. You are just focused on the here and now, pulling your single thread through the fabric with pure intention.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Because let's say a person achieves this shift in perspective, right?
Okay.
They've gathered their compounded energy. They realize they hold the needle for their specific stitch in the grand sublime. how do they actually make that stitch? What are the practical mechanics of creation, according to MacKenzie's philosophy?
This is my favorite part because the transition from the philosophical perspective to the actual mechanics of action is where this work becomes a literal practical guide.
It stops being abstract.
Exactly. She breaks human consciousness down into 3 distinct operational tools: mind, will, and desire.
The language here is incredibly tactile. It's so vivid. She writes, the focused mind becomes the eye, our will, the steel that spools the twine, desire bellows fire's might, the substance fueling our starlight.
We can connect this directly back to the artwork, too. This starlight she mentions, being fueled by these 3 elements, connects right back to those glowing, cross-like stars perched at the top of the colorful peaks in the painting.
Oh, wow, yes.
Those stars are the output. Mind, will, and desire are the machinery generating that output.
So, for you listening, think of it like a cosmic sewing machine. The focused mind is the eye of the needle, aiming precisely where to go.
And the eye is tiny.
It is. It requires extreme precision. It dictates the exact direction of the thread. And just like a spool holds the tension of the thread, our will acts as the structural integrity that holds the tension of our intent over time.
And that tension is so critical. Will is not about, sudden bursts of motivation. It's about endurance.
It's the steel.
It's the steel. If your will is weak, the thread of your intent just tangles the moment it meets any resistance.
We've all had those tangled threads where we just give up on a project. But a needle and a spool of thread, no matter how perfectly aligned in tension they are, they'll just sit there on the table doing absolutely nothing without a power source.
Right, you need power.
And that's the third element, desire. Desire bellows fire's might. Desire is the electricity. It's the motor driving the needle through the heavy, stubborn fabric of reality.
Let's actually look at what happens when you isolate these elements, because I think it really highlights why all 3 are required to generate that starlight.
Let's do it.
If you have a highly focused mind and a burning desire, but no will, no steel, you have a visionary who never finishes a project.
Or what if you have the will and the desire, but no focused mind? You have an incredibly disciplined, highly motivated person who is just stabbing the needle blindly in every direction. They are so busy. They are working hard, but they are creating chaos instead of a pattern because they lack the precision of the eye.
And finally, if you have the mind and the will, but no desire, you just have drudgery.
Oh, that sounds miserable.
It is. You have someone going through the motions with extreme competence, but there is no fire, no passion, no heat.
It's just mechanical.
Exactly. It's only when all 3 are aligned in the present moment. The focused aim of the mind, the disciplined tension of the will, and the burning motor of desire that you produce the substance fueling our starlight.
It's a beautiful synthesis of thought, discipline, and passion.
It really is. When they are aligned in the here and now, you are literally generating the light we see at the top of those painted peaks.
Okay, so we have the magnifying glass focusing the ambient light of the present. We have the soul maturity to draw upon the compounded wealth of our past and future. And we have the machinery of mind, will, and desire actively making the stitch.
We have the whole toolkit.
We do. But when we combine all of these things to stitch our present moments together, what are we ultimately creating? What is the final purpose of all this cosmic sewing?
Well, this brings us to the title of the piece itself, and really the final revelation of our ultimate purpose.
Right, custodians of the here and now.
Exactly. The poem concludes with these lines. Our duty as custodians, as causal threads of life woven, reveal the reason for life's rent, a universe formed through intent.
A custodian isn't a passive observer. A custodian is a caretaker.
They're entrusted with something.
Right, entrusted with the upkeep and the flourishing of something highly valuable.
And notice she calls us causal threads of life woven.
Causal, meaning our threads literally cause things to happen.
Yes, we aren't just passive fabric being blown around by the random winds of the universe. By aligning our mind, will, and desire in the present moment, our intent literally causes the universe to take shape.
That is profound.
And if we look back at the visual artwork, remember that massive red celestial body in the upper right corner.
The one radiating that huge, intricate web-like pattern across the dark blue sky.
That's the one. That web is the visual representation of these threads of life woven across the cosmos.
Oh, wow. It's a tapestry.
It's the grand sublime tapestry the poem referenced earlier. It's a vast, interconnected network, and we are the ones weaving it through our daily, focused intentions.
So the universe in MacKenzie's framework isn't a pre-built house that we are just like wandering around inside of.
No, not at all.
It is an ongoing construction project, and our intent is the building material.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it really redefines our entire relationship with reality.
I want to zero in on a very specific and kind of arresting phrase in this final stanza, though. Reveal the reason for life's rent.
Life's rent.
Does the word rent imply that we don't own our lives outright? That weaving these causal threads with positive intent is literally the price of admission we pay for the privilege to exist here?
If we look at the philosophical arc of the entire piece, I think that is precisely what she is arguing. Remember the very first line of the poem. Life is a gift. It is a gift, but it is not a free ride without obligations. To be granted consciousness, to be given the ability to experience the here and now, comes with a profound cosmic duty.
The rent we pay.
The rent we pay for occupying space and time in this magnificent cosmos is to be active custodians of reality. We pay our rent by providing the universe with the intent it needs to continue forming itself.
So what does this all mean for you and me navigating our daily lives? If we step back and look at the entire journey Dr. MacKenzie has taken us on today, the progression is staggering.
It really covers a lot of ground.
It does. She starts by shattering the illusion that the present is just a fleeting, useless second. It's not. It's a force of light waiting to be focused.
Waiting for us to grab the magnifying glass.
Exactly. But to unlock it, you can't be trapped in the selfish anxieties of your own ego. You need the soul maturity to see the big picture, the grand sublime tapestry.
And once you see that grand picture, you realize you have a job to do. You have a stitch to make.
You step up to the machinery of creation, you align the sharp focus of your mind, the steel pension of your will, and the fiery motor of your desire.
The eye, the spool, and the fire.
And when you do that, you transform from a passive consumer of time into a causal thread. You are actively weaving a universe built on intent. That is how you pay your rent for the gift of life.
It is a deeply empowering philosophy, one filled with awe at what human beings are capable of. But, it also leaves us with a heavy yet necessary consideration.
What's that?
Well, the poem tells us that a universe is formed through intent, and our duty is to be causal threads to pay life's rent. But consider the alternative. What happens to the grand tapestry of the universe when we don't focus our intent?
Oh, wow. That is an intense thought. If the universe requires our intent to form, what happens when we withhold it?
If the universe is truly formed through intent, then an unfocused life, a life lived passively, constantly distracted by the trivial, just letting the here and now slip by untamed, doesn't just waste your own personal time.
It has a ripple effect.
It literally leaves a void. It leaves a physical gap, an unsewn stitch in the very fabric of reality. The universe isn't just something you exist within, it relies on your specific thread to maintain its structural integrity.
So my lack of focus actually hurts the whole tapestry.
Yes, your intent is not just about fulfilling your own personal dreams or achieving your own goals. The cosmos literally needs your light, your specific stitch to hold itself together.
That puts a completely different, almost overwhelming weight on what you choose to do with the next 5 minutes of your day.
It really does.
It's not just your personal schedule you're managing. It's the structural integrity of the reality around you. You are holding the magnifying glass. What are you going to focus the light on today?
The canvas is there, the thread is in your hand. The rest is entirely up to your mind, will, and desire.
What an incredible, uplifting piece of art and poetry to explore. Thank you so much to everyone listening for joining us on this deep dive into Dr. Kim S. MacKenzie's Custodians of the Here and Now. We hope it changes the way you look at the ticking clock, and more importantly, the way you view your own capacity to shape the world around you.
It's been a profound journey.
It really has. Until the next deep dive, keep your mind focused, your will strong, your desire burning, and keep harnessing your own here and now.